How are we getting on, people? Luke here from LAGFX. We are back today with a new Learn to Trade video. If you are someone that is wanting to learn how to enter in on the markets on the lower time frames, then this is the video for you. In our most recent Sunday sessions video, did actually have a subscriber who suggested to create a video around this subject. So I thought, why not get this video done and sent out to you guys? Now, the first thing to point out when it comes to placing positions on the lower time frames, so when we're looking at our scalp-like trades or our lower time frame trades, the same principle applies to those trades that are placed on the higher time frames. It's very important that before we place any positions in the market, we are always completing a full top-down analysis in order to get a good understanding on the current bias and direction of the market we are trading. So what I'm going to do is run through a full top-down analysis here on the Great British Pound to the Japanese Yen, give you my step-by-step guide on how I perform a top-down analysis and how I would look to tackle the market here on the fractal timeframes, looking at the 1, 5 and 15 minutes. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's Learn to Trade video. So as you guys know, when it comes to completing a full top-down analysis, it's very important that we go to the highest of timeframes and work our way down. Here we are on the 3-month timeframes. Each candle represents 3 months. The first thing we need to look at is the structure of the market we are looking at. The first thing we need to understand is the direction and bias of the market. And we can do this by looking at the structure of the market here on the 3-month timeframes. It's pretty evident that this market is a bearish one. Reason being, we have lower highs and lower lows being printed into this market. And we can see that value of the Great British Pound against the Japanese Yen has depreciated from 1975 right the way through to present day. So with that understanding, we know that we should realistically be looking to go short in this market to trade with the majority traders. As we all know, the trend is our friend and we should always trade with the majority traders. So now that we have an understanding of the bias and we know that this is a bearish market, we need to be looking for areas of supply. The reason why is because these are going to be key areas at which we can look to enter in on short positions from. Areas of supply often give us trading opportunities to trade short. Why? Because as supply is introduced into the market, demand is removed and the S&D balance usually flips to the downside. If there's more supply in a market, the value of the market we are looking at is bound to depreciate. If there is more supply for a pair of trainers than there is demand, the value of those trainers are going to decrease. If there is a lot of demand for a pair of trainers, but there's not much supply, they're very rare to find and there's not many of them, then the value of those trainers is going to increase. So this is how we look at the markets via supply and demand. If we are approaching areas of supply, they are often going to encourage price to trade lower. So what I'm going to do is just mark out a few areas of supply within these bearish impulsive waves to give us areas of significance and areas and targets that we can look to short from. So starting from the very top, well, we have a gap here, which has been filled by the wick that you can see here, which is great. We also have a hidden order block here, which has been mitigated, as you can see here. The reason why this is seen as a hidden order block is because this wick here represents bullish structure trading to the upside. Why? Because price would have had to trade down to create this wick in the first place, and price has traded back up to get us a close up here. We've then had a continuation in bullishness to start this red candle before price has traded lower. So this area has been left unmitigated. And as you can see, price has come to mitigate that area before trading goes lower. Now, if we carry on looking at the structure within this, you can see again, we have that same pattern, wick to the upside followed by wick to the downside. Price hasn't quite traded into this zone, but what we also have is a fair value gap. So we go from the bottom of the first wick and the top of the third candle, and as you can see, price has traded perfectly into that. So price is obviously respecting areas of fair value gaps. Now again, we look at this hidden order block. As you can see, price has traded into this perfectly, which is great. We also have this green candle here, which would represent an order block. And as you can see, price goes on to trade into that as well. So we can see that price is really respecting these areas of supply, which is brilliant. As price approaches, so all of these buy positions that have been placed are being closed in these areas of supply. Supply is being introduced. That gives us a huge S&D flip to the downside, which encourages these impulsive waves trading us lower. Supply is introduced, demand is offloaded. that's what causes these down moves. Now you can see here, we also have another order block. This is a clear order block, it's not a hidden one, and price has recently just traded into this. Now this is great because this is actually going to offer us a trading opportunity. So now that price has actually traded us into an area of supply, you can see that we had great rejection to the downside. Price is pulling back at the moment. This may be to create a lower high on the fractal time frame, so the smaller time frames. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go down to the monthly and the weekly time frames, and we're going to see where price is at the moment. So I'm just going to neaten this up. I'm just going to pull this back. Now, as you can see, what we need to do is we need to look at the most recent impulsive wave that's traded us lower. So this one here, we need to look for those areas of interest again. So we have a hidden order block here. Price has traded into this. Price is rejecting well from this at the moment, but it looks as though it's cleared the zone completely. We also have this area here. So there's two areas of interest here that we could look to go short from. So once we have our more fractal areas, we go down on the time frames again, and we look at the structure and see what price is presenting to us. Again, I'm just going to neaten things up, and I'm just going to refine these zones just so they're a bit easier to see. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down to the 4-hour time frames just to get a better look at the current structure in this market. So again, we need to understand and we need to remember that we are looking to short this market. So we need to see evidence that price is ready to trade us short again. So you can see here that this is a bullish corrective wave before the next down move. What we need to be looking for are breaks of structure to suggest that price is ready to trade us lower. So this high is the highest high within this bullish corrective wave. Which low created this highest high? Well, the low that created the highest high is this one here. This low went on to create the highest high. So this would actually represent a break of structure. So we've had price trade into an area of supply here, and it's actually caused price to break structure to the downside. This is great news for us, as this suggests that price may be ready to actually take that down move. Enough supply is being introduced to cause an end to this bullish correction, and the start of the next impulsive wave may be underway. What we need to see now is that price is respecting areas of supply again before we look to take part in short positions. I'm going to go down to the 1-hour time frames now, and we're going to look and see if price has pulled back after this break of structure to trade into an area of supply before trading lower. We can see here that this wick to the downside followed by wick to the upside represents an area of supply. Price has traded into the 50% mark and has rejected nicely to the downside. So again, we follow the same process and principles. What low created the highest high? And that is this one here. So we have in fact had a second break of structure to the downside. Again, this is brilliant news, as this is suggesting that price is in fact ready to take that move to the downside with a longer term bias. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the impulsive wave that broke the structure, which is this one here. And we're going to mark out areas of supply that we can look to enter in our short positions from. Why? Because what we need is 3 breaks of structure and 3 penetrations of supply zones in order to deem a valid entry. We've had 2 breaks of structures, 2 penetrations of supply zones. Price trading into this one would be the 3rd penetration. We then need the 3rd break of structure before we look to take part in this market. As we continue to look at this impulsive wave, we can see that this also represents a hidden order block. Price has traded into this, okay? So we may already have the 3rd penetration of a supply zone, and we may already have the 3rd break of structure to the downside. We can see here, if we go down to the 15 minutes now, so we're really going down on time frames, just going to neaten this up a little bit for us. You can see here that price has broken structure to the downside. This may be seen as a liquidity sweep to some people. I would consider this a break of structure. After price has traded into this area here, we have then had a break of structure to the downside. We have then had price trade beneath the last low that created the highest high. So that could be the 3rd break of structure. In order for me now to deem a valid entry, I would want to see price trade into one more area of supply and reject well to the downside. This here is the only supply zone within this impulsive wave on the fractal time frames that's deeming us an entry point. So if price trades into this, rejects well to the downside, and may be tempted to go short in this market. Now, don't get me wrong, this could actually just be a corrective wave being put in, something like this, before price trades up and into this area, then breaks structure to the downside, and then goes on to trade us lower, down and into the market. Now, if that is the case, then that's absolutely fine, because we account for that. Because if we go short in this market from this area here, best believe our stop loss is only going to be maybe 6-7 pips, and our take profit could be set right down here at the higher time frame low that was set in the market. So we're walking away with a 1-to-21 risk to reward ratio on this position. What we can do is we can apply safety measures with our trade. As soon as it goes into 7 pips worth of profit, that's 1 RR achieved, that's 1% achieved. We could look to move stop loss to entry, we could take partials. It's very important that we manage the trades that we are placing effectively, as well as obviously placing the right positions. So if price does trade into this, give us good rejection and we do take part in this position. Worst case scenario, we lose 1% because price continues to trade through. Best case scenario, we walk away with potentially 21% from this trade. Now if price does go on to trade above and beyond this fractal area of supply, then we also have this area here to be looking for. Now I would be waiting for price to obviously trade in, break structure to the downside to give us full confirmation, and I'd be looking to take part in the market from the pullback that takes place somewhere around here. Once price does, I'll then be setting my take profit at the same place as I would with this original position, and we still walk away with a 1-to-8 risk reward ratio. So if we do take a loss here of 1%, we are still walking away with 8% from this position, or just short of 9%. So we're ending this potential setup and trade with an 8% win. Now, due to my strategy and the way I do my setups, we may lose on a few trades. I have about a 70% win rate. So we may lose this first position, as I say, but when we do actually catch the trade itself, we're going to be walking away with some amazing profits, which account for any losses we took prior. And this is how we would trade the market. And the beautiful thing is if we are trading this market on the fractal timeframes and we're looking to re-enter on pullbacks, all we would be doing is we would be going down to say the 5 and 1 minute timeframes, and we would be looking at the fractal structure that's being put into this market during this higher timeframe impulsive wave that's trading goes lower. And we would be entering in on short positions at every single pullback, trading price down. So the potential profits that we can accumulate from this trade are amazing. We may be able to place 3 or 4 positions throughout this impulsive wave that trades us lower. And the reason why we've been able to predict this is because we've done a complete top-down analysis and we have all confirmation parameters met. We have our 3 breaks of structure to the downside followed by our 3 penetrations. We have full confluence and confirmation that price is putting in this new impulsive wave. So we are confident in those fractal trades that we place. Now you may be wondering, well, how do we know when to enter on the fractal timeframes? Well, all we'll be doing is we'll be looking for areas of supply that price will pull back into that we can trade from. So there will be areas, there will be hidden order blocks or visible order blocks that price trades up and into before rejecting to the downside. And we would simply be entering in based on rejections from these zones, setting our stop loss just above the zone that we enter in from, and our take profit would be set at our final take profit target, which is down here. Now, it will be interesting to see how price plays out from this zone. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to set an alert and we're going to come back to this. Now, as you can see, it's 9:15 at night, so I'll probably touch base on this tomorrow morning and we'll see how price plays out. Price trades through this, but then we'll be also looking to get involved from this zone here, so it'll be interesting to see how price plays. Putting everything I have preached into practice. So, as you can see, we are back. It's now the following day, 10:40 in the morning. Back with an update on this pair. I wanted to kind of wait for price to play out a little bit, just so we can kind of see what's going on. And you can see that actually late last night, must have been around, let's have a look here. Yeah, around midnight last night, we were actually delivered with an opportunity to place short positions in and around this zone. So if you remember correctly, I said about trading shorts from this area. And we could look to take partials and implement safety measures like SL moves. So you can see here that the price did actually go on to trade 26 pips to the downside after the penetration of this zone. Our stop loss was only 7.6 pips. So this meant that we walked away, or we could have walked away with nearly 4% from this position, which is a brilliant trade. So me with my strategy, what I usually do is I would take a 50% partial at 3 RR, and this is to bank 1.5%. Then worst case scenario, if my stop loss was then to go on to be hit, we only have 0.5% left of the position running, which means we still walk away with 1%. This means that we are walking away with 1%, which was our initial risk, which is a brilliant result from a trading position that you have placed, walking away with what you risked initially. So in this instance, we would have made either 1% or 1.5%, depending on whether we moved SL to entry or not. But this, either way, was a profitable position. Yes, price has gone on to trade through this zone, which is absolutely fine. I said that this may be a possibility, dependent on whether this was going to be a higher time frame corrective wave or not. And as you can see, price is playing out as predicted. So this is great. So our next target now is this zone here. We want to see price trade up and into this, deliver us with the break of structure that I've drawn out here. Once price pulls back to trade us into a more fractal supply zone like this, we would then enter in from here, trading price lower. This is what's going to be our big move and our big trade to the downside. So I'll be waiting now patiently for this. But I just wanted to show you how this strategy actually works and how we can make the most of the zones and areas that we are looking at. I have done a shorter version of this video. It's about 10-11 minutes long, and it kind of just goes over placing positions on the fractal markets and where you can find these areas of interest. So if you are struggling to find areas of interest and you don't know where they may be, you don't know what they look like, then please go ahead and watch that video, as that's going to show you and teach you the characteristics of fair value gaps, order blocks, and hidden order blocks. This is actually going to summarize this Learn to Trade video. I'm glad I got to show you guys, the strategy working in real time. You can see that we would have walked away with a profitable position here. Yes, it's not as much as we wanted, but we still walked away with either 1 or 1.5%. We are now looking to take this market short from here. Be interesting to see how price plays out. As I said at the start of the video, if you guys have any questions or queries with regards to this video, please leave them in the comments below. And if there's anything you want me to cover as a topic or a subject, then also leave those suggestions in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. All the support you guys provide is very much appreciated. And I just want to say a massive thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next Learn to Trade video.